And we bring you inside at Barclays. The crowd fired up for the first of 3 scheduled fights before we take you to the title fight. Tail of the tape. Nyambayar at 10-0 goes by Tug from Mongolia. In fact, he's going to have some 300 Mongolians who have made the trip to root for him, and he would like to fight a fellow Mongolian one day, going up against from Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic, Claudio Marrero, who in 25 fights has only lost 2. In tonight's fights, we're using the unified rules of boxing, so the bout scored by 3 judges using the 10-point must system. That means the winner of each round gets 10 points. The loser of the round gets 9 or less. There's no 3 knockdown rule, and a fighter cannot be saved by the bell, including the last round. Larry Hazard is our ringside unofficial scorer, a former judge referee. He helped write those unified rules. There's a rule of note, Larry. We'd like to hear from you on this, that we should pay close attention to, that's not as obvious to our viewers.
Yes, Chris, if a boxer receives a cut from an unintentional headbutt and the bout has to be stopped before the end of round 4, the bout will be ruled a no decision. However, if a boxer receives a cut from an accidental headbutt and the bout has to be stopped after 4 rounds or more, then we will go to the scorecards of the judges to determine the winner of the fight.
All right, thank you, Larry, and he'll be ringside with us, unofficially keeping score as you watch closely at home. And now to our Hall of Fame ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to Barclays Center here in Brooklyn, New York, as Premier Boxing Champions presents a big night of action coming your way. It's Fox PBC Fight Night, and it's all brought to you by Brooklyn Boxing and sponsored by MGM Resorts. This bout in the ring is sanctioned by the WBC, the president, Mauricio Sulaiman. Introducing our 3 judges, scoring from ringside, Julie Letterman, Eric Marlinsky, and John Potteridge. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of action scheduled for the WBC Featherweight World Title Eliminator. Introducing to you first on my left, he is fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with gold trim, fighting out of Los Angeles by way of the capital city of Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia. He weighed in at 125.5 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring with a record of 10 wins, no losses, 9 big wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the 2012 Olympic silver medalist and the undefeated WBC number 7 ranked featherweight, introducing King Tugstsogt Nyambayar. His opponent across the ring, ready to fight, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing blue trunks with red and white trim. Hailing from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, he weighed in the same as his opponent, 125.5 pounds. With a record of 23 wins, 2 losses, he has 17 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the WBC number 3 ranked featherweight world contender, introducing Claudio Marrero. And our referee in charge, our 3rd man to the ring of this bout, Benji Esteves.
Okay, man, I will repeat my instructions. Voy a repetir mis instrucciones. I want a clean match. Quiero una pelea limpia. Protect yourself at all times. Protégete durante todo el tiempo. Touch him up. Good luck to both of us.
Moments ago when he walked into the ring, a fan reaching out, touching not only the glove, but part of the wardrobe of Marrero. He doesn't like it. He's going to take punches tougher than that.
I was a fan of Tug Nyambayar, obviously. I wonder what the thumb meant. You're going down. And that's yet to be seen, because both of these guys are very dangerous.
And let's do this.
Both of these guys great punchers, and Marrero, of course, has, I think, 5 first-round knockouts. Tug, a very strong puncher. I used to train Tug.
Yeah, as I say, full disclosure, Joe Goose, and you of course, what you called him one of the hardest hitting pound-for-pound fighters you've ever seen. He worked in Los Angeles, and of course, run the gym down there in Van Nuys, and you worked with him.
Right. For his first 8 fights were with me. 8 fights, 8 knockouts. Of course, he was in the 2012 Olympics, and in all 3, the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals, he fought southpaws and beat them all, even though he didn't get the gold medal win in the end, but I thought he won it. So he's very adept at fighting southpaws, but Marrero is very adept at fighting right-handers.
And Marrero at age 29, 17 knockouts over his 23 wins, just 2 losses, standing at 5'8", trained by Nelson Rodriguez, a former interim WBA Featherweight champion from the Dominican Republic.
Both guys right now are just kind of getting used to each other, figuring what they're going to do, figuring each other out.
Now for this weight class, Tug, as we call him, they're a little taller than most, Joe?
They are. They're both about, I'd say, 5'7", which is about average, a little bit taller. Yeah, not extremely tall. I mean, I've seen featherweights at this weight, 5'10", so it's not extremely tall. But the point is, they're both very powerful knockout artists. And anything can happen in this fight. Now they vowed, look at that, it was a beautiful 4-punch combination by Nyambayar. But they vowed that Marrero was going to box more than coming out looking for the knockout early on. So let's see if he sticks with it.
Yeah, he said, I would love a knockout, but I want to show my boxing skills. That's what Marrero said before this fight.
Marrero looks like he wants to warm up a little bit. He's stretching out, still kind of tight, so he needs to loosen up a little bit more.
And Nyambayar has fought a string of southpaws rather well. He's hung tough against lefties.
Both of the guys very fast-handed. They're very quick. And you saw how Nyambayar got around on the front foot of Marrero and landed that straight right hand. So that's a tricky move against a southpaw. Not easy to pull off.
First portion is opening round scheduled for 12. Neither fighter has, would you say, Lennox, shown much here?
Well, so far, Nyambayar has landed the 4-punch combination early on. He landed the right hand there. He's ahead right now in the round.
Slightly by those landed, at least unofficial.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He's ahead right now, but like Marrero is warming up.
Round 2 live on Fox. Moments ago in round 1, that fan member put the thumb on Marrero, and here he is with Nyambayar.
Thumbing himself.
Same glove. I've got you under my thumb as round 2. Nyambayar slightly ahead. And Larry Hazard, our unofficial score, will update us here once we get a little further into this featherweight bout. Winner earns a right to fight the champ. It's an elimination bout.
Marrero needs to pick it up a little bit more. Like, he's not really doing nothing. He's not. There he goes.
I think he heard you, Lennox.
Yeah, he needs to pick it up, throw some punches.
Marrero, actually, in terms of career rounds, you talk about experience, over 100. It's under 40 for Nyambayar.
That's right, but the thing is, right now, this is a 12-round fight, and I think the 2 losses that Marrero's had, it came later on in the fight where he's ran out of gas, and I think they want to conserve a little bit here and be smarter and box this fight.
Nyambayar, who is the favorite here, 10-0 with 9 knockouts. He's the one that you see the king tie on the trunks and Venom on the back.
Let me tell you, that right hand that Tug throws is very effective. It caught Marrero twice. Marrero looked at him and said, caught me with that again?
Like I said, he's a very clever fighter. He knows how to fight a southpaw. And, look, we got a long way to go here. But right now, Tug is taking the fight to Marrero. Marrero's not really counterpunching yet.
I mentioned the experience, or at least trying to fight southpaw as well. Nyambayar, Marrero is the first lefty he's actually faced as a professional, fighting since 2015. King Tug.
Here comes Marrero trying to walk Tug down. Tug turns him around.
To walk down, size up, was that what you're
Well, you know, it's sending a message to Tug saying, hey, look, I'm going to lock you down. I'm not respecting your power.
Okay, so a little disrespect.
Plus, he wants him to throw punches. If he's locking him down, he wants him to throw punches.
Why, to leave him open for response?
Just to see what he's got.
Okay. See how close in terms of landed punches. Again, it's just a gauge. I know you're watching at home thinking, all right, I think this guy's winning, or you got that guy. It's not always as clear. Unless you see a knockout or a series of knockdowns. Even one other professional world champion from Mongolia. Back in the 90s. Tugstsogt Nyambayar hopes to become the second in the history of that country.
Welcome back to Brooklyn, New York, everyone. You see Tugstsogt Nyambayar. He is from Mongolia. He told me earlier today that he received that banner that you saw him walk in with from the wrestling champ of Mongolia. It's made up of 99 horsetails. Those horsetails are said to strike fear in hearts of the enemy and provide power to a warrior. Guys?
Thank you, Heidi Androl, that wrestling champ, the only one who can touch that banner, part of the tradition and the belief, because he's the one who brought it here, and hoping to bring good luck for that man. Start of round 3.
Come on.
Our referee making
You put it there,
sure
you got to take it off,
the
man.
canvas actually could be vinyl in many cases. Looked like the corner spilled liquid there. Make sure it's not slippery. Here we go. Lennox, I know you always talk to me. We were riding over in the car here about early footwork from fighters, something you always paid attention to. Has anything stood out between these two so far?
Yeah, Tug's got some good footwork. You know, Joe, you've been training for 8 fights, so he's always had this good footwork.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, he made it to the gold medal in the Olympics for a reason. That's number one. Number two, he's got 9 knockouts out of 10 fights for another reason. He's a very talented guy. But right now, there's some tactical moves going on here. They're trying to establish the jabs. And there's a great right-hand counter by Tug. You know, the distance is established. When you're fighting a southpaw, somebody's got it. The one who gets the jab established is going to get the distance for the next punch that they're throwing. And this is what's going on here.
The jabs, the percentage, Marrero. And a good combination there.
Well, that's Tug. He's got quick hands. If he gets close to you, he's going to throw punches. And right now, that's the thing. You don't want to make a big mistake by throwing too long of punches and get caught by a counter from Marrero right now.
Yeah, Marrero is still a bit stiff. He needs to loosen up a little bit more. You know, when he gets punches thrown at him, he just stands still. He needs to move that head, move that upper body a little bit more.
Marrero's been professionally fighting for just over 8 years. Good right hand, it hurt him.
There's that right hand I was talking about.
That landed.
Great left hook by Tug right there.
Now Marrero's got him hurt too.
Marrero, so he's got his senses about him. He threw a nice right hook. It didn't land, but he's sharp enough to come back and throw it. But Tug hurt him 2 or 3 times in that session right there in the corner.
And that wasn't the first time he threw that right hook. That was like the 3rd time, and that 3rd time was pretty.
And the measuring of what's landed and what's behind the punches that land, you can see and sense listening to Joe Goosen and Lennox Lewis.
And Marrero, this is why he's been cautious, you know, is he knows that Tug is a hard hitter, and he was being cautious. He didn't want to get hit with it, but he did get hit with it, and he survived it right now.
Marrero has been knocked out just once in his 18 professional fights.
And now Marrero is on his feet. Definitely had to move around a little bit more. He has to loosen up. I think that punch woke him up.
Inside of 15 seconds here.
It did wake him up, but it put a little crack in the jaw.
He lands. Marrero went up against the ropes. Taking charge.
And here we go by Tug. He throws a great uppercut right between the gloves. And here comes that right hook, right on the tempo. and you see him shake, the reaction from that. And watch the foot again. There it is.
Tugstsogt Nyambayar and Claudio Marrero, and King Tug the advantage so far, it would appear, through the first 3 rounds.
Right now, Tug has got the psychological advantage over.
And why is that?
Well, because he's already hurt him 2 or 3 times in that round, at least a couple times in that round. And he's the only one landing the heavy punches. Marrero's punches are falling short or being blocked, like those 2 right there. Good left hook off the counter left hook off the jab of Marrero by Tug. Good lead right hand by Tug, and then the counter punches fell short from Marrero. So right now, advantage all to Nyambayar. Not to say that this can't turn around at any moment, because Marrero is a great fighter, and he's a good knockout puncher himself. So
with 17 to his credit, his first loss was in 2017. First loss, I should say, since 2013. That was to Jesus Rosas for the interim WBA World Featherweight title. He was slightly behind on the cards when he was knocked out in the 7th round. Marrero seemingly behind here now.
Yeah, Marrero is still keeping that head a little bit stiff. He needs to move it around a little bit more, and not such of a target.
Androl is listening in the corner of Tug Nyambayar.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. His coach just told me that they want him to keep and they really want him to be conscious of his defense. They know this guy is really dangerous, especially in the first half of the fight. They want him to take his time.
Thank you. He said he was working on defense more specifically, a little more than normal coming into this fight.
Well, look, I mean, it's pretty much what we discussed. You've got to be careful. Both these guys are knockout punchers, but right now, Tug is just, throwing the hard punches, the quick combinations, and he's getting his hands back quick on defense.
A big miss from Marrero, got nothing on that swing.
Tug's doing the right thing, throwing combination, because he's got his head stiff.
Yeah.
And what happens when you throw the combinations? That last punch is the telling blow. Last punch is usually the one that catches the opponent.
And the landed punches, again, the 3 judges, they'll look at clean punches, effective punches, general ringmanship, defense. Nyambayar so far seemingly to having it all in the first 4 rounds here, as we're inside of 35 seconds of round 4.
Yeah, Nyambayar needs to throw combinations. Once he throws a combination, he does well.
You see, if I'm in the corner right now, I'm real happy with the pace of this fight right now, and how Tug is doing if I were in Tug's corner right now. You still got 7 rounds after this.
Through 4. Head through each of the first 4 rounds. In 2012, silver medal winning Olympian, we mentioned, decided to go pro. At that time, he only wanted 1 man in his corner, and that was Joe Goosen, who's in our corner ringside here on Fox. Now he's trained by John Pullman, and there is the legendary trainer Joe Goosen with Lennox Lewis, Chris Myers. Nice to have you watching Premier Boxing Champions on Fox.
I can't tell you that, I can't deny that there's an emotional bond that I got with Tug.
Okay, he gave you a respectful bow when we saw him yesterday.
Yes, yeah, and a hug. I mean, he's a great kid and he's a great fighter. And right now he's winning this fight, and I'm happy for him, and I'm happy for his corner and everyone concerned. But, look, it looks like Marrero's coming out with a little bit more fire this round. I'm sure they woke him up in the corner and told him, hey, look, you got to start winning some rounds.
Yeah, he had to come out with some urgency. They did wake him up in the corner and told him to throw a lot more punches.
Lennox has to do for you when the opposition comes out aggressive, in the early part of the round.
He came out aggressive and Tug landed a left hook right hand on him and busted another right hand there. So it isn't doing him well, but at least he's trying to make something happen for himself.
Our Hall of Famer Larry Hazard scoring unofficially, and our rules expert, and let's listen into what he has scored so far as we see the results.
Well, Chris, so far I have Nyambayar ahead 40-36. It just seems like Marrero can't get started. I mean, he's being outclassed. His opponent is coming in behind that jab. He's mixing up his combinations. He's showing his overall ring generalship, and he just can't catch up. You know, he comes back a little bit, but then Nyambayar comes back. So I got him ahead, 40-36 Nyambayar.
Thank you, Larry Hazard. Joe Goosen and Lennox Lewis, would you tend to agree with the assessment unofficially? Without a doubt.
Yeah, I agree with
I think you're making it official.
It's official.
I don't think you could view it any other way. Although, you know, Marrero did land a nice little left hand earlier, about 20 seconds ago.
And as part of, as Larry was saying, Marrero hasn't landed much, but part of that is, I think, the excellent defense of Nyambayar. And again, the effective punch is a little closer maybe than the score might indicate. With inside 50 seconds here in round 5, scheduled for 12 in this elimination bout.
And you see the feet get tied up right there again. Yeah. But that's typical. That's what happens when, you know, southpaws in there with right-handers. Their lead feet are in front of each other instead of when you have two right-handers in there. It's the opposite.
Fighting in the 160-pound weight category. Live on Fox from Barclays in Brooklyn, New York. Last night it was the Knicks and Nets here. And tonight, 3 fights for you. This is the first on the card, with action to wrap up the end of round 5.
And here you see Marrero using his elbow. The referee didn't catch that, but he was, you know.
A smile from Marrero.
Sometimes when you get punched,
sort of.
You gotta smile.
No puede contigo, Claudio. No puede contigo.
Faces of determination in this elimination bout.
Well, there goes Marrero throwing a combination right off the bat. Again, he's probably, like Lennox said, he's getting warmed up now, and he's feeling a little bit more confident. He felt the power of Tug, and he feels he can deal with it.
His journey began, he said, as a child. His dad, he watched fights with his dad, thought boxing would keep him out of trouble off the streets. There were 9 or 10 kids in his country that ended up in jail or worse. So he started boxing. Big fan of Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. Actually trained in Miami from the Dominican Republic, and then trained with Wilson Rodriguez here in Ohio.
Two great right hands by Tug. You see how quick he's really gambling. And of course, Marrero just hit Tug behind the head, and he's getting warned by Benji Estevez right now. And the referee, and let me tell you something, Tug is just out-quicking him for the most part.
Marrero took those punches good. You know, he rolled with them, so he didn't really feel the full effect of them.
Tug just got hit in the eye with a short left hand.
It looked like he was not ready for it.
It was inside. Yeah, he was in close, and Marrero just threw a short little.
Oh, there's a nice bit of work by Marrero.
It blinded Tug for a minute, turned his head.
Good body punch.
Yeah, body shot
by Tug.
Action's heating up right now because Marrero's getting back in the fight, and of course he hurt Tug with that left hand.
Listen in, Heidi ringside.
That's right, I'm in Marrero's corner, and he is doing exactly what his coach told him to do. His coach told him to let his hands go, throw more combos, be busier. He said, you're too talented of a fighter to be fighting like this.
Meaning what? Go for it.
Well, in other words, what he's saying, though, I mean, but his coach changed up. In the fighter meeting, he told us he was going to have him box more. But now he's telling him to press him.
Yeah, I think he decided, maybe saw something from Marrero.
You know, sometimes you got to be able to adapt and change your game plan midstream, and that's what he's doing right now.
Both stand at 5'8", slight reach advantage for Claudio Marrero. But Tugstsogt, otherwise known as Tug Nyambayar, seemingly ahead of this fight in the 6th of scheduled 12.
Great body shot landed by Tug, and a great counter punch by Marrero to the head right after that.
Marrero was moving in.
And if you notice, Tug has his left foot on the outside, and he's getting better punches in. He's really stepping into the pocket with his punches.
Is that more for balance or for power?
It's more for power and balance. It gives him the advantage having his foot on the outside.
Well, right now, Tug is moving to the right, his right, which is not the orthodox way of going against a southpaw. Usually the standard is stay on the outside of the front foot of the southpaw, but you know, you got to mix it up too. That was a nice little turn by Tug on the left.
Scheduled for 12. We're halfway through on Fox. Claudio Marrero, who made his pro debut back in 2010. This is his third fight in New York, his first at Barclays Center, and having a tough time with Nyambayar.
Well, here's what happens. They're on the inside, and it was just a short little, flick punch, and the thumb caught Tug in the eye, blinded him for a minute, and then caught him with behind the back right there. It's a kidney punch. Those are two illegal punches he just hit him with right there.
Yep, and don't know if they were spotted that way, the back of the head. Round 7 with Joe Goosen, Lennox Lewis, Chris Myers. Good to have you ringside with us live on Fox. The first of 3 fights.
And I think this is what Nyambayar should be doing, is putting pressure on Marrero, not the other way around. I think he should be backing Marrero up, because the 2 fights that Marrero lost was because a guy did exactly this, put pressure on him, put him on the ropes, and got in his chest and worked him over.
That shot to the eye of Tug they wasn't ready for. So, Lennox, if you're Marrero, do you try and work on that a little bit?
Well, you know, it's not affecting him right now, so he's not bothered about it. So he can continue doing what he's trying to do, and that's back him up against the ropes and set some traps for him, so he can throw some combinations. As you can see, he's switching around. He's switching now.
Pose.
He's trying something different.
Kind of in a stance for Marrero.
That may not work to Marrero's favor, to tell you the truth, because Tug is going to be better against a right-hander than a southpaw. They're easier to fight.
I think Marrero's finding it difficult to find Tug and trying different things to see what can get through. The poke in the eye definitely worked for a second.
I'm not sure that was
intentional,
but it landed that way. And it did blind him for
that's always
a few seconds.
A tough moment for the guy on the other end.
Yeah.
Whether it's intentional or not, it certainly has an effect overall.
It's not like getting hit on the eyebrow or under the eye or even getting cut. It's right in the eyeball, and that really is a pressure, puts the pressure on the eyeball. It really hurts. And that's why he turned away.
Marrero face to face. A right that misses.
Such a slick move that Nyambayar is making.
Yes.
And he turns, spins around to his left.
Excellent defense.
And leaves Marrero in the dust. There's a nice little left uppercut right hand by Tug. He's the one really landing. He's the smarter fighter in there right now.
Yeah, he's landing good shots. Marrero still hasn't found that ground yet.
There's a great left hand, 2 of them in a row. It's about time, because if he wants to get back in this fight and win it, he can't wait much longer. We're already in the 7th round of 12.
Yeah, but when he's throwing that left, he's almost turning to the left as well.
And maybe a bit of a turning of the tide here for Marrero.
Watch your head. Watch your head.
Well, now Benji just warned, the referee just warned Tug about putting his head into the face of Marrero. But this may have been the round Marrero won.
Yeah, this was a good round for Marrero.
Live on Fox Fight Night in Marrero's corner, and even though he had a spurt there a moment ago behind in this fight, we heard him in the corner saying to him, you have too much talent, you need to get out there and attack.
In other words, what they're saying is, we think you're behind in this fight right now, and you better do something to turn it around. So use all of your talents and try to win these next 3, 4, 5 rounds.
Or they see him in the gym doing more than he's doing in the fight. So they're saying that you're a great fighter in the gym. Do the same things that you do in the gym in this fight.
You see the landed punches. Larry Hazard unofficially scoring this fight. Last couple of rounds, you like the way Marrero has worked it.
Round 6 and 7, Marrero is really cranking it up now. He's turning the tide because he's giving him more movement. He's coming in behind the jab, and he's being a lot more aggressive. I've given him the last 2 rounds.
I wouldn't disagree with that at all. That's quite accurate.
There's a little elbow shove under the chin. Marrero didn't like. Oh, that right lands. Sweat flies.
But Marrero comes right back with a great right hook. You know, so there's no quitting him right now, and he's not going to take a back seat to Tug. He looks like he wants to win this fight, and he's got to do it down the stretch here.
Yeah, Jesus Cuellar is the guy who defeated Claudio Marrero, and Cuellar sparred with Tug to get him ready for this fight.
Tug throwing that right hook again. Almost got some glory with it, but it missed. And Marrero moves his head well. He doesn't take a punch too straight on. He knows how to move with the punches.
Yeah.
A miss on the part of Nyambayar, who started boxing at age 14. His grandfather loved boxing and got him into it. His grandfather had a military background.
Now Marrero is moving that head like he was supposed to do that in the first few rounds. This is what you need to do.
This crowd wanted more from Marrero. Exchange.
Step out, step out.
Referee wants them to separate here. A couple of left taps to the body from Marrero.
What's happening too is Marrero's making Nyambayar miss a lot more punches than he did earlier in the fight. He slipped a nice right hand by Tug, countered to the body, and these are the things that are going to pile up the points for him to win these rounds.
And Tug's work rate has dropped a little bit. He needs to pick it up a little bit.
Talking about his energy level?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Well, there he goes. He's trying to show something to his opponent.
Ooh. Oh. It's a great left hand by, and a great counter by Nyambayar.
What a move.
To Marrero from right back.
That's right back to the right. Wrapping up round 8, Nyambayar. And Marrero getting stronger. More action through 8 so far. This is the way it's looked up close. Early, Nyambayar. Marrero a pep talk, and he's responded in the last few rounds. We're live here in Brooklyn. Marrero landing some punches, aggressively coming on against Nyambayar, who was ahead after the first 4 rounds, unofficial.
Well, you can see the confidence building in Marrero right now. He's really going after Tug, the way Tug went after him. Even though Nyambayar just landed a good right hand, that's not going to stop Marrero right now. He's got a head of steam going right now. Look at him. He's just pushing him off, getting rough with Tug.
Ooh, he looks like he's in charge at this moment. Marrero with a punch that lands.
Landed 2 good shots right there.
And a response from Tug.
Marrero's going to the body, which is the right thing to do at this stage of the fight. He needs to go to the body, sap a little Tug's energy.
We saw Nyambayar just land the double hook body and head and right hand. And Marrero just shook it off. Yeah, I don't think he's feeling the effects of his punches right now.
Yeah, Nyambayar is missing now, and Marrero is landing.
I think Nyambayar is making a mistake, to tell you the truth, backing up and letting Marrero take the play away from him, because he's really not a boxer. Tug, he's a pressure fighter, and he's a knockout artist, and that's what he should be doing. He should be imposing his will on Marrero, not the other way around.
And it looks like the other way around.
Yeah.
Marrero is imposing his will on him.
Nyambayar 9 knockouts in his 10 wins, 10-0 against the more experienced Claudio Marrero. And that experience may be showing, Lex. You talked moments early how Marrero kind of came out finding his way. He's found his rhythm. He sized up his opponent. He's making it work for him.
The only thing he's doing wrong, he's making him miss, but he's not making him pay. Once he makes him miss, see, he allows him to get out of there again. He should be making him pay.
Nyambayar was the favorite coming into this fight. An elimination bout scheduled for 12. Oh, a show of come at me.
Throws that combination, but he puts his hands down. He's got to be careful.
Well, it's always dangerous to drop your hands at any time, but I got to tell you, if I'm in the corner of Nyambayar right now, which I was quite a few times, I would tell him to put pressure on right now and make sure that the judges realize who's winning the fight. You know, see, this is the thing. If you can back up Marrero like that, okay, and put him on the defense, you may get it.
Wrapping up the round, Marrero seemingly has had the last 3. And there's Winky.
One of the great middleweight champs of all time, junior middleweight champs.
Great defensive boxer as well.
Yeah. Ronald Winky Wright.
And middleweight champion.
He actually came to Lennox Lewis League of Champions camp in Jamaica.
That's because you made him come. He didn't want to say no to you. Former sparring partner with Thurman.
But then let's get him after that.
All right, so Joe, you mentioned if you were in the corner and what time you were with Nyambayar. So Lennox, if you're in Marrero's corner, what are you telling him here? Hey, keep it up. You're on the right groove.
Yeah, but he's still got to, like I said, once he allows him to miss, he's got to make him pay. That means throw combinations right after he throws punches at him.
Unofficially, the way we're scoring this ringside, Marrero has now moved in front, winning the last 4 rounds. You agree with that?
I don't disagree with it at all.
Okay, way to start on the fence.
The way I've been calling it is that I said Marrero is doing the right thing. He came out and he's had a sense of urgency and he's winning the rounds.
And that's what these fans wanted, a close fight. Okay, let's correct the unofficial scorecard, and this is how close it is. So that's why you didn't disagree with it.
But it still doesn't,
change the last 4 rounds. But overall, it's anybody's fight.
It is.
Limpio o nos vamos? Vamos.
Yeah,
a point deduction.
Marrero hit him after the bell when he wasn't supposed to.
After the break?
Yeah, after the break, so he didn't like that. The referee didn't like that, took a point away.
Benji Estevez all over that. Let's take a look.
I'll tell you, that could really come into play as this fight goes on. Look at that. Oh, he hit him on the break. It was a love tap. It wasn't really a big, tough punch, but to tell you the truth, it's
should have given him
good exchange here. The top comes out firing.
That's what you got to do. Somebody's got to start swinging for the fences here.
And he did. A couple of inside taps from Marrero. And below the belt, Marrero in pain.
We don't know that. His back
is appearance that way. Let's see what our referee says.
Sometimes that could be a great shot right on the belt. Remember, it's below the belt, not on the belt.
We have 3 judges in different locations watching this.
Well, the judges aren't going to make the call. It's going to be the referee.
Stay right here.
Did he make that call? He told Nyambayar to stay right there.
Right. He's going to give him the break. Let's see what happens. Nyambayar steps back and he goes to dig. It's right on the belt.
Well, all right.
No, that's on the belt.
A little bit low the belt.
I think it's
a little bit low the belt.
I don't see it that way. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean he wouldn't be reacting like this.
You're going to hit exactly. That was a great shot to the body.
What's the dividing line on the belt?
Well, there is no. Look.
Some people wear their trunks higher than others. Sometimes it's difficult to tell.
You never know if Marrero wanted that to happen so that he can get that point back.
No,
strategy.
There was no point taken away from Tug, so he did not call it a low blow.
But he might have.
Well, he might have, but I saw the replay. It was on the belt. A low blow is when you get hit in the area where the cup is. Okay, and that's way below the belt.
Well, there's a lot of room below the cup, between the cup and the belt that you don't want messed with. There was no point for clarification, and we saw the pain from Marrero, which gave him a chance to catch his grip. Punches landed. That's how close this has become. Nyambayar had it earlier. Oh, he went inside.
3-4 punch combination.
Yeah, got right between the gloves of Marrero.
Well, between the point taken away and those good combinations, even though Marrero's coming back right now, he's still the one that got hit with the combinations during this round.
Marrero needs to throw more straight punches than wide punches. I think the more straighter punches are more effective.
Well, here we go. Here's that punch right there. It's right on the belt. I mean, that's not a flagrant low blow at all.
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that on your belt.
I disagree.
You can try it if you want.
Claudio Marrero in a tough one with Tugstsogt Nyambayar, and that shot to the belt, the referee leaned over to make sure we knew that there was no point taken away.
I asked I asked Benji Estevez what happened. Did you take a point? No, he didn't take a point because he didn't think it was a flagrant low blow.
Well, to be honest, he didn't see it.
Well, how do you know he didn't see it?
He just seen the reaction from the boxer.
Now you guys could fight later. There's a good fight going on right here.
Okay, the bottom line is that Tug came on strong, landed some great combinations. And look, there's a little desperation on Marrero right now.
And Tug won that round unofficially. And earlier there was the point deducted, remember, by Marrero after the bell when he landed that punch that we clearly showed.
It could be the 2-point swing right there.
And it is, so that's what we'll watch closely here with one more round after this. Less than 2.5 in round 11.
Well, Marrero's corner knows right now he's got to not only win this round, he's got to win it big, he's got to put him down, he's got to hurt him, he's got to do something to get a 2-point round for himself.
Nyambayar does not look like a guy you could easily get down on the canvas. Knockdown doesn't seem...
Now Nyambayar, he threw a great right uppercut left hook 2 times in a row.
Landed a left there. A jab that didn't connect, and then a left from Marrero. They clinch. The ref says no. Punches landed. Marrero slightly ahead unofficially. You tell me at home you're watching closely as well. Would you be scoring this fight up for grabs, or is Nyambayar the leader?
Well, it would have been up until last round. I would have had it up for grabs except for the 2-point round. I think Nyambayar won the round, and they got the point deduction from the referee against Marrero, and I think that put him ahead.
Yeah,
and
I would agree with
right now he's winning this round as well. He's landed the only significant punches like that. Nice counter right hand. He landed a couple of uppercut left hooks. Now Marrero's making a lot of head movement, but he's not really countering off those slips.
Yeah, it looks like Marrero's right eye below his right eye. There's
good left hand by
some bruises there. Looks like he's been marked up. Yeah, Tug with it.
They're both a little marked up right now. You know, it's been a rough fight.
They've earned every second of this bout. Leaning in. Oh, there's a right.
Oh, great right hook by
mixed up with his feet there.
He comes in with a left. Marrero posturing, jabbing.
Marrero's got his hands down. I mean, if you're an aggressive guy, you don't want to do it with your hands down because that's what's going to happen.
Nose bloodied on the part of Marrero.
Marrero's face definitely looks like he's been in the fight.
We have not had a knockdown in this fight. Beating up at the end of round 11.
Both of them landed in great exchanges at the end. I think Tug's were a little bit more significant with that left hook right hand in the last exchange.
In the corner. It looks like
yeah, you see both boxers connecting at the same time.
And it's right
here.
There. Simultaneous punches. Marrero's corner.
This is the last round. Let's go. We got to step it up.
Madrid, último round.
Marrero, this is the last round. This is what we worked for.
Ahora, Madrid.
This is what you have to do it, Matrix. Come on, show them that you're a bigger man there.
Yo lo quiero que estén ahí, que estén ahí.
Make it clear. Nyambayar's corner.
Smart, keep being smart, but let's let our hands go the most this round, okay? With bent knees. Bend your knees and work, okay? You're looking good, but I need you to let those hands go, okay?
Last two rounds unofficially won by Nyambayar.
Yeah, and I think if you listen to the corner in Marrero's corner,
he gets it.
I think they had more desperation.
He knows it.
Yeah.
His trainer knows it. Our thanks to Felix de Jesus for the interpretation. A sportsmanship hug as they begin the final round in this elimination bout. And they put on a good show.
Marrero has to be careful coming in because he usually comes in throwing punches.
He's exhausted. All his energy here, Lennox.
He's trying to use up this whole round. He wants to win this round. He wants to.
A couple of shots to the head, and the ref says, "Hold on a minute."
He may get another point taken away from him if he doesn't watch it.
He's got to listen to the ref.
Come on, let's go.
Over exuberance from Marrero. No point deducted. Not in that instance. Not in that exchange. Scorecard. That's how close things are.
right now Marrero's willing to do anything to win this.
And what should Nyambayar be doing?
Well, you know, look, he cannot just cruise.
Oh, that landed, that left from Marrero.
Marrero landed, but he got hit with a counter right hand by Nyambayar right after. Even it up.
Remember that 10-8 round we showed you moments ago was because of the point deduction on the part of Marrero. And you said, Joe Goosen, it may figure in the final result.
Yeah, no doubt. But I think
of how close this is.
Exactly. You know, we don't know what the official cards are going to say, but you know, right now I think because of that round and the last couple rounds, Nyambayar's pulled away.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And the judges, they have to listen to what the ref says when he deducts the point, no matter how they saw it.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
The power punches close.
Well, here's Marrero giving up the ground here. When he's only got a minute and a half left. He should be pressing this fight. Going for
he should be looking for angles. Should be looking for a great shot right now. Even a good combination.
He has
never be taking a step backward.
In the ropes. Now away from the ropes.
Nyambayar landed a good combination there. And
a minute left for Marrero to try and
right now Marrero's wrapping up Nyambayar. He should not. He should keep his hands free and keep on working to try to impress the judges and win this round.
Well, there's only so much he can do, and he has no time.
He looks tired now, Lennox. Marrero looks tired.
He's working in desperation right now.
Oh, great.
To get
Nyambayar with some punches that landed and exchange so late. Against the ropes, a right that lands on the side of the head of Marrero.
Don't celebrate too early. I can tell you that right now.
And from Mongolia, Tugstsogt Nyambayar dancing around as if he's already won this fight. But there's still 20 seconds left.
But he definitely, Nyambayar dominated this one.
Nyambayar's doing the right thing. This is what he needs to do. Move away from him. Doesn't need to mix it up right now. Don't need to take that kind of chance. Nyambayar, great on his feet.
They put on a good show for 12 rounds. Nyambayar, Marrero survives it, but he can't believe that he won this fight. You never know how the judges are going to see it. He had a string of 4 consecutive rounds that he apparently won. But the undefeated Tugstsogt Nyambayar, looking up as if he's got his 11th victory against no defeats. And more than 300 fans from Mongolia who came to support him here. Unofficially, our scorer, Larry Hazard, has Nyambayar winning 116-111. We'll get the official ruling in the ring. They both are confident waiting for the result. And moments ago, Nyambayar, Marrero in that 8th round threw a fight-high 73 punches, but unofficially Larry Hazard scores Nyambayar the winner. Will go in the ring for the official announcement with Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. Judge at ringside, Julie Letterman scores the bout 114-113. Eric Marlinsky sees it 115-112. And John Potteridge scores the bout 116-111. All three in favor of the winner of the WBC Featherweight World Title Eliminator by unanimous decision. And moving on to fight for the World Championship, King Tugstsogt Nyambayar.
Yeah, he got things started a little bit early, a lot early.
And he finished strong.
Making
strong.
Mongolia proud, and that's the longest he's gone in his. He never went past the 10th round, a 12-round decision. Now 11-0, and he wants Gary Russell Jr. next. We saw his brother, his younger brother, fight a little earlier on FS1.
Yeah, it was a good fight. He boxed great. Well, he got it started early, which is important, and ended early.